recorded. There we go. Okay, so now once we're done with all of our Module 3 practice problems, we're ready to look at the assignment number 3. If we click on our assignment 3, we have quite a few problems here to do. Okay, so let's take a peek here at the end of the chapter to see what we're doing. Okay, this is going to start on page 69 in your book. Okay. And the first problem that you're going to have is going to be problem 320. Okay. 320, it says, for the vectors that you see here, A and B, you want to find the resultant. Okay. So you're adding these two vectors together to find the resultant. If you're not watching right now, just know that you might not get the information you need for the assignment. And then when you ask, I might say, oh, you get to watch the video again. And I don't want to say that to anybody, okay? But sometimes I feel like because I'm recording and I know the computers are in front of you and you want to jump in and do the homework, and that's okay. I totally understand that. But then I'm also repeating, things that I'm going over. So if I can just have your attention for the homework here, I would really appreciate it. All right. So this one, you are finding the resultant of adding vectors A and B together, okay? Then for number 23, you have 3 vectors that you're going to add together to find the resultant, okay? And they're identified here. And then you've got problem number 25, 325. Here we have 5 vectors you're adding together to get the resultant. There's no S at the end of E. I think that's just a typo there. So it's A through E, vector E, and it's right here, okay? So the first 3 problems there are going to be vector addition. The next problem you have is problem 332. You want to determine graphically vector J when you take A minus B, and this is from figure 320. So it is the vectors from problem 320, okay, which you did already, or you will have done. Turning the page, then you're going to go to number 44. You're going to find J when you take C plus A minus B. And this is going to be for the vectors in problem 323, which are these 3 vectors that you will also be doing, okay? And then the last 2 problems that you have, 48 and 49, there's some subtraction here for J and K. And here, you're going to use those vectors from problem 25, okay? So that's adding and subtracting for those first problems. The last 2 problems you have are numbers 58 and 59. 58 and 59 are going to be like the problems that we did, these last 2 problems this evening, for your practice problems that are equations. So here you're going to notice you have A plus B minus C is equal to D minus E. As we look down here, your C and your E are your unknown magnitudes. You have direction, but your unknown magnitudes. They are on opposite sides of the equal sign, but they're both negative. I would suggest pushing C over to the other side and E over to the other side so that you're dealing with all positives. And then you don't have to worry about which way does the arrow go at the end. Okay. So make sure when you do the equation, feel free to rearrange them to get rid of those negatives. I would. They're just easier to deal with, right? And it still preserves having your unknowns separated by the equal sign, okay? And then just make sure that you put the equation that you're following. On number 59, this is going to be very similar again. Here you've got A plus B plus C minus D is equal to E plus F. So here you've got F is an unknown and D is an unknown, okay? So I'll let you kind of play with that one. All right. So these 2 are going to be like the last 2 that we did in the practice problem. So at the moment, as you're looking here, are there any questions on what practice or what assignment 3 looks like? All right. Okay. So then that's all that I have content-wise, but I'm going to stop the recording, but nobody go anywhere. All right. Because we're going to look at the calendar one more time. So I'm going to stop the recording.